Hello everyone and welcome to this podcast, of which I think we're calling Screen Fiends, is that right?
No.
Okay.
Three voices.
Maybe.
Three voices in your head.
Who talk about movies. My name is Jake, and you guys are...
Unimportant.
Yeah. Redacted.
Thank you for
Harry.
being so professional.
Shut the fuck up. I'm tired.
Yeah, what's your names? Come on.
I'm Harry.
My
I'm
name's
talk
Dan.
about 3 films.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a voice inside your head.
And you are...
I'm Dan.
Thank you. And welcome to this podcast that everyone seems so enthusiastic to be a part of.
Kill me, please kill me.
So, today, we were going to talk about Suspiria, weren't we? Because that was the film that I recommended last time.
Mm-hmm.
However, we agreed that we were going to do some Christmas films. And so we all recommended a Christmas film each. We will do the Suspiria discussion next time, and then it will be Harry's recommendation. So you want to make sure that you remember to think of something.
That's me and mine. I can't forget. I'll have to rethink.
Well, you'll have to think then, won't you?
Yeah, I got a brain out. I'll forget it.
So, on the subject of Christmas, are you guys looking forward to it? Because I think this episode will be out either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, so no one will probably listen to it then, but, you know.
I'm going to be honest. This is the least Christmassy I've felt in my life on this
Even
planet.
after watching 3 amazing Christmas films.
I've seen more Christmas films as of late than I have in the last few years combined, I feel like.
Oh.
And that's 3. Maybe 4.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
So, Dan, you looking forward to Christmas?
I am. I'm kind of sad that the snow's just melted where we live.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's typical.
because that made me feel more Christmassy. The snow did. But
It did.
does
to be
help,
fair,
doesn't
did.
it? Yeah.
It did do. It helped the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
It also helped me nearly crash a lot, on the way to work.
It would have been funny though.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been that funny. But I would have had time off work, yes. I would have just broken up
Okay,
early
of
then
course.
for Christmas. So.
Yeah.
But,
that'd have been like a nice Christmas shenanigan to get into, I think.
You mean like Jack Frost?
It's in a car crash.
Like when,
It's
when
like
Jack Frost skids off the road and fucking dies in the Jack Frost movie.
They day.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, with Michael Keaton. Have you not seen it?
Which one's that? What's the name
It's
of the
like
film?
where he turns into a really creepy looking like practical snowman.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the whole film. I've seen like the start of it.
Yeah, the start where he fucking veers off a road and fucking dies.
Okay, I might have missed that part. I think it was like on TV at one point. I might
it
have
usually is. It's a very
Yeah.
friendly, family-friendly, fun time. The 3 films we picked. So, Harry, your suggestion was Muppets Christmas Carol,
It was, yes.
an absolute classic. Dan, yours was 2000's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yep.
And mine was the more recent Klaus.
Oh fuck! It's.
Do you maybe
Klaus.
want
I
to
said
talk
Claus.
about...
Fuck.
It's Klaus.
I said claws earlier and no one corrected me.
That's why I said claws.
I know. I wondered why you
It
said
sounded
that.
funny.
It's Santa,
Wow.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
Same difference.
Why did you guys pick these films?
Go on, Harry. Yours is earlier than mine.
Yeah, earliest of the list. Because I haven't seen it in years. I remember enjoying it. It's kind of a classic, and you can't go wrong with the Muppets. So, and I kind of wanted to rewatch it anyway, so it's an excuse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. It is definitely a classic. We'll get into that. Dan, why did you pick yours?
I don't really know. It's I just kind of have a soft spot for it. I think I just like the main thing I like about the Grinch is Jim Carrey's performance as the Grinch.
Yes.
I just find it really funny, and like all the prosthetics that the makeup and stuff is just really
Well, we'll
cool.
get into that.
he
Yeah.
did a great job of playing himself again.
But I love Jim Carrey, so I ain't complaining.
Yeah.
So I thought for this we could go in chronological order, so order of release. So starting with Muppets in 1992, then The Grinch 2000, and then Klaus 2019. A nice little like gap between each film. So
It's like the Ghost of Christmas, past, present, and future, but like they're all in the past, so it doesn't count.
yeah, exactly. What you said.
Yeah.
So, so we'll jump right into the Muppets. Muppets Christmas Carol, starring Michael Caine. It was directed by Brian Henson, the son of Jim Henson, who created the Muppets. Harry, it was your film. Do you want to give us like a brief synopsis?
Okay. Okay, so you got a man who does not like Christmas. Scrooge.
What might his? Yeah, okay.
Oh, come on, this is my synopsis.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
don't interrupt.
Expertly crafted. Scrooge, very angry. Not even when very Scroogey, and he's taken from the poor. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone else, and everyone's talking shit about him, saying he's all meanie and grumpy. And then one thing leads to another. You've got and he's visited by ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. And then he's like, "Oh, I don't want to die," basically. And then he's happy again. He's happy, and everyone loves him.
Yeah. Plus Muppets.
Plus Muppets.
That's a pretty important part because
it's great. It's so
it's
good.
just the Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, obviously, with Muppets. So, what did you guys think of it this time around? Obviously, this is a classic from my childhood as well. I absolutely love this one. So, how does it hold up?
I really enjoyed it. I think out of the 3 films, it was no biases, of course, but it was my favourite to watch. I think.
What about you, Dan?
It was fun watch.
So I watched it as a kid, but I haven't watched it since then, and I really like it. I think one of the things I like the most about it is how Michael Caine just plays it completely, just seriously and straight. Like he's not treating it like this is a Muppets film. I think that's actually a thing he said to Brian Henson. Yeah, I've got a quote here. "I'm going to play this movie like I'm working with the Royal Shakespeare Company. I will never wink. I will never do anything Muppety. I am going to play Scrooge as if it is an utterly dramatic role, and there are no puppets around me." So
Well, there aren't any puppets
his
around him,
character.
are there? They're all Muppets instead.
well,
Yeah. So he was right
Well.
there, really. But so you think you guys are into Michael Caine? Because I think on a rewatch for me, I think on occasion I wasn't totally sold, but then I think it might be because of that, because he's playing it so seriously. But I did like it more as it went on. I just think to begin with I was a little bit I don't know, unsure, but I did like him. I think he plays it pretty fucking well, to be honest.
I love the world that it kind of creates. It seems so lively, quite vast. You know, when at the intro, when it kind of the camera kind of flies past the roofs of the house, it looks quite grand. And yeah, everyone's like, it seems really busy and lively, and it's just the Muppets. The interactions between the Muppets, I just love so much.
Yeah, they're great, man. But the Muppets, I feel like
Throw it around.
they're so good. Like they are so talented. The people that operate these Muppets and the voices as well. Because I was watching the behind the scenes and stuff, and it's like they're voicing them as they are doing it, and it's like I don't know. They're clearly so. They're just really talented people.
Got like barely any credits as well.
Yeah, and they're pretty amazing, honestly. So yeah, do you like the music too?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not why I watch it though.
Yeah, I think honestly for me it kind of is.
Musicals.
I love the
Really good.
I love the songs in this. There's only one I'm not so sure about it, and it's like where Tiny Tim's singing it around the table, and it's a little bit slower than the others. But like that intro song where they're singing,
Bro, he's dying.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Jesus.
No, I do care. I'm sorry. I do. I'm sorry, Tiny Tim.
You could tell he was dying because he was a slightly darker shade of green than the other frogs.
A more sickly green, you could say.
Yeah, he's more sickly. Yeah.
So it's just that opening song for me is just it's so awesome. There goes Mr. Scrooge, it's great, and there's a lot of I think most of the songs are just perfectly done. I did find out who did the score. He did the music for the other Muppets movie. I can't remember what it was called. I don't know.
There's a lot of Muppets movies.
Well, I'm talking about the Muppets movie.
So the Muppets.
The
Muppets show.
It's called the Muppets movie.
Was that like the newer one?
Oh.
No, I don't think so. I think.
Oh.
Well, God, you know what? I ain't gonna say because I don't know.
I think there's quite a few Muppets movies.
Well, he did the music for one called The Muppets Movie. I saw that in his credits on Google, so I'm going with that.
It kind of makes me want to watch other Muppets films, honestly. I haven't really seen that many, I'm not going to lie.
No, I haven't
There's
seen
a
that.
lot
This is the only one
of
I've
those films.
seen. I'm not a Muppets, connoisseur, honestly. But this was always a favourite.
Something the family would put on for Christmas sort of thing.
Yeah. There were 180 different Muppets. in this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot
Yeah.
just on show constantly. Did you have any favourites at all? It's kind of hard to pin down, but
Honestly, you know, this might for performance. Honestly, I fucking love Miss Piggy. She's so funny.
yeah, yeah,
The way
yeah,
she
like,
kicks off and like when she goes up to Kermit and like squeezes his ass. You remember that? Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
I didn't notice that actually.
She like it's like the first time you see Bob Cratchit go into the house. She like runs over to the two little pigs and the boy
his
frog.
daughters.
They like run over to him and like they're hugging him.
Hit him against the
whatever.
wall.
Yeah, that's it. And then Miss Piggy comes over and he starts going, no, I can't remember. He says like Emily, you know, and then you just hear this little squeak sound, and he goes, I can't remember what he does now, but it's basically implied that she pinched his bum. I found that quite funny. I also sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just gonna move on because if you've got anything to say, otherwise I'll just keep sweeping through it.
I was just gonna say. Apparently, this is the first Muppets film where Kermit isn't the main character. So
Yeah, I think that's
I'm
interesting.
kind of glad.
Yeah.
Well, not glad's the wrong word, but it's nice. It's a nice change of pace sort of thing. He's just kind of there.
Yeah, he does play a pretty pivotal character. Bob
Yeah,
Cratchit.
but yeah, you know, everyone knows the Muppets. Kermit even.
There's another thing I wanted to say. I thought of earlier is that when I watched this as a kid, you know there's like the song where it's the two Marley brothers, and they're talking to Scrooge. And they do this song where like, oh, we're Marley and Marley. That
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
When they did
Chains.
the ooh, and they like shake their chains about that, like scared me as a kid.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking this when I was watching it, and
I have no memory of being scared.
I don't think it scared me, but it is oddly very atmospheric,
Yeah.
considering it's still being very silly with the subject.
Yeah.
It's also quite visually imposing. I think the lighting and the mood, everything like, and the sort of the way the chains are hanging off them, it is pretty creepy. Honestly,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. To be honest.
And the ghost of the ghost of Christmas Past it's really unsettling.
Yeah.
Fucking
The
terrifying.
first she's it's like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
I thought that as well. I was like, Jesus Christ! It almost doesn't look like a Muppet. It looks like a doll,
Yeah.
like an actual embodied corpse of a child or something. It's
Yeah.
fucking horrendous.
I watched with my girlfriend, and she was I sort of said that hasn't aged well, but then she was saying like, well, it looks like it's intentional, that it's trying to freak you out a bit, and I do see that. But then with the contrast of the Ghost of Christmas Present, like how just fucking awesome he is, and like just cool
Jolly.
as fuck. Yeah, jolly. Yeah.
They'll go off different vibes for sure. I mean, honestly, the Christmas Past is creepier than the future.
Yeah, the future one was really cool though. Actually, I really like the design for this. Like the Christmas future one reminded me of the Dark Crystal. If you've
Right.
seen that.
Oh yeah,
Which is an-
I haven't.
it's
just-
like a Reaper.
Yeah, it's another
Yeah.
Jim Henson production. There's similar puppets, but like.
Oh really? Okay.
I mean, I don't want to go on a tangent about the Dark Crystal, but it's like a kid's puppet like fantasy thing, but it's like kind of dark and like creepy. And the
I've
puppets
seen
are
a bit
really.
of it.
Yeah. Well, it's Dark Crystal, isn't it? So I imagine
Yeah.
it would be quite dark.
This one I want to see.
So you know the Ghost of Christmas Present anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen how that was made at all? So the head was like a fully remote control like animatronic, and
Oh,
it's like pictures on the internet of them like with the head open. It's like fully like it looks really cool. You should have a look. And basically, it's a guy in a suit, and then a guy controlling the head and face. So it's like you imagine how difficult that would be to have the physical performer doing the sort of body acting almost, and then you've got the guy who's also operating the head is voicing the character at the same time. So like they even when they're doing that kind of thing, they're fully committed to like the Muppets being like this almost live performance. I think it's pretty amazing feat, to be honest.
Did you know the budget of the film?
I don't. I was about to find out. I've carried on the recording. Just I was about to find out, so at least I can hopefully edit that. It was $12 million. $12 million.
How much did it gross?
Oh, bloody! I gotta look that up now as well. Should have done this
Yeah.
research beforehand.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't do research.
This was the film that I researched the least, so I have the least to say about this one.
You really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just because I haven't had much time this weekend because my brother.
It grossed 27.2 million, so it more than doubled the profits, more than doubled the budget, which is good, I suppose. I mean, yeah, it is definitely good.
I thought it would have grossed more. I don't know. That's because I thought it'd be more popular back when it came out.
Well,
I suppose that was in 1992 though. So
7.7 on IMDb.
so have you got anything else you wanted to bring up about the Muppets Christmas Carol?
not really. Like it's just a Muppets film. Silly. It's kind of silly.
Yeah,
Silly fun.
yeah.
I just yeah. I said before. I just love like I just love the little interactions they have because they're Muppets. You can kind of throw them around and stuff. Like Samuel's like,
It's
what's his name when the little rat dude.
He sets his tail on
They love
fire.
it. No,
Oh.
when he kisses him in the nose.
to be fair, their
kiss.
interactions are very funny. So, as I was saying before, we had some pretty severe technical difficulties. I was talking about the school teacher and the funny line he has, where basically it's like the camera's just panning out, and it after like we've just seen, you know, when the whole like shelving unit falls down because of Gonzo and Rizzo.
I was gonna fix that.
Yeah, but he says, you just overhear him say, and remember, don't tip the cab driver.
Oh yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
And there's loads of little lines like that throughout, which I just think are fantastic. Just like to say, actually, I listened to the audiobook of A Christmas Carol over work while I was, working, and it's really faithful. It's really, really, really faithful. It's more accurate than any of the other ones I've seen to it, apart from the whole Muppets thing. But it's like a lot of the lines are like pretty much exactly the same. That surplus population line is in the book, and like all the the charity people that come in. A lot of that dialogue is the same. So I think I really like that.
Did you watched it? I'm assuming after the film, the audiobook.
No, I listened to it before.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did. Yeah. And it was very good. I've enjoyed it very much.
Out of the audiobook or like the movie, which one did you prefer? I know it's about
Well,
I suppose
I
it's
mean,
different media, really.
because exactly. Like they're, for being so similar, they are also remarkably different. And I think the Muppets whole thing is like, it's not just a gimmick. It really does make it a completely different film. And a lot of the sort of gags and stuff like that, like and another good example is the whole when when he says, "And how would you all like to be on the unemployment line?" and then they start dancing with all
I
this.
fucking love that bit. I absolutely love that bit. Oh, that got
An
me.
island in the sun. Pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think of the little sad rabbit guy? My girlfriend was like, controversial opinion, but he's cuter than Tiny Tim.
That's not controversial. The mountains are cuter than Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is like he's made for you to feel sorry for him and all depressed and sick and ill. But the others are just kind of getting on with their day. He's homeless, that little rabbit dude. He's shivering in newspaper.
Oh yeah, that shivering. That where he's shivering. That's horrible. That is. It's really. Makes me cry, man.
He's fucking. It kind of would have been funnier if he was just like seen in the background, just thawed, like in an ice block or something.
Oh right.
You don't see him again. He's just frozen in newspaper.
That's so dark. So I wanted to say the sets and costumes of this film are like phenomenal. Everything looks so well designed. All the buildings and the snow and like just the costumes down to like Scrooge's goddamn dressing gown is just so iconic. It's really good.
They do seem very full and fast. They don't seem
yeah.
like empty or anything like Dead Space.
There's also just as a little interesting fact, my dad mentioned to me, because my dad also loves this movie, and he had it on VHS, like cassette, whatever. And there is a whole song that's been cut from the version I watched. And it's when young Ebenezer and his wife are sort of his soon-to-be wife, like, and she leaves him. There's a whole song there where she starts singing.
Wait, what version did you watch?
I watched it on Disney Plus.
Oh, I see. I saw that scene.
Right, that's interesting because that was not in it for me at all. But you can watch it on YouTube, and I did. So yeah, doesn't apparently I was reading a lot of people saying that it was a very important character moment that just got completely like she doesn't have any character in the version that I watched. Like she's just there and then she's gone.
You don't know why she's gone. She just kind of goes.
Oh, you know why you know why she's gone. You get the gist.
Yeah,
but
but you don't really get the.
Yeah. What did you think of? I love the scene. Fuzzywigs party.
Oh yeah.
I made note that I never noticed this before. It's a rubber chicken factory. What is that about? Did you notice that?
Yeah. They say it's a chicken factory.
That's odd, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just like a meaningless. I don't know.
A throwaway gag, I suppose. Just to have the hanging rubber chickens.
There's this like random fucking factory.
Yeah.
Seems pretty well off though. Seems like he's doing well for himself.
Yeah, and I loved seeing Animal on the drums as well when he does the little triangle.
He loses patience with his triangle.
Yeah, and you can just feel his he just wants to, and he starts shredding. Yeah, so I suppose we just, unless you've got anything else you want to add that you.
Oh, I want to add one thing. Kind of, it got to me actually.
Okay.
When he brings the Christmas turkey over, okay, at the end of the film, it's raw. Okay, and that gets cooked way too quick. Just saying.
Okay.
That takes all day to cook.
All day. Yeah, but
and it's cooked.
He got there in the morning. The later scene wasn't
continuity error.
Okay.
He brought the whole fucking he brought the whole town as well into his house. Imagine if I was him, my boss brought the entire town into my house.
I did think that. I did think it was kind of.
It's like
just
okay.
Walks in.
Yeah. Tiny Tim's all sick and ill and dying. Meanwhile, everyone's been aborted.
So, if you haven't got anything else you want to add, I think we can just rate this one and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Who wants to go? I say, Harry, you go first because you recommended it. What would you give it?
It's kind of a toss-up, honestly. Like, I'm in between, like a 4.5 or a 5. I don't know if I'll give it a 5.
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel myself, like wanting anything more in particular. I was entertained all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why I wouldn't give it a 5.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Well,
I'll say 5.
Okay, 5. I think for me, this is a 4 out of 5 as well. It's a classic. I absolutely love it. There are just a few quite minor things. I mean, a 4 is still a pretty good score. But there's a few minor things that hold it back for me. Just such as, like I said, I did want a bit more from Scrooge's character. I feel like he could have been a little bit stronger, and but I think overall, it's definitely, it's a classic. I can't say anything else more than that. The design, the set pieces, the costumes, the performances, pretty solid. So yeah, 4 and 4 and a 5. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So, this next film was yours, wasn't it, Dan? The Grinch, 2000, directed by Ron Howard, starring Jim Carrey, Taylor Momsen, Christine Baranski, and Jeffrey Tambor. Can you give us a brief synopsis? Don't know why I said it like that. Carry on.
This is a film based on a book by Dr. Seuss by the same name called How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and this film is a live-action take on that book, and it's essentially about a town called Whoville, and it has these people called the Whos that live there. They love Christmas. They fucking love it. And there is one person in this town, a green fella known as the Grinch, and he does not like Christmas. There's two main characters. Sorry. One of them being the Grinch, and the other one being a little girl called Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou Who?
It's Cindy Lou Who, exactly. Sorry, yeah, fake fan. And the film is essentially about her asking people in her life, such as her father, why the Grinch hates Christmas so much and why he's never invited to anything. And she's just kind of given nothing answers, like, oh, he just doesn't like it. He just naturally, he has a small heart. They say,
2 sizes too small.
2 sizes too small, exactly. And the film is essentially about Cindy Lou going up to the Grinch's cave and trying to invite him to the Christmas festivities in Whoville. And the first time she does this is for the Grinch being nominated for an award for, I forget the name of the award.
I don't know.
It's essentially the most Christmas-y person in the town. And the mayor, who's the mayor of the town, is basically the antagonist of the story. And he wants to win it, and he hates the Grinch. He doesn't like him at all. So when the Grinch gets nominated for this award, Cindy Lou asks him to come and accept this award, to come down, because he lives in a mountain by himself. He comes down from this mountain, and the Grinch seems to be enjoying himself a little bit for the first time in a while. The mayor gives him a gift of a electric razor, which reminds him of his, because you see earlier on that why the Grinch hates Christmas so much, because Cindy Lou asks these people who went to school with the Grinch. There was a time where the Grinch was trying to impress a girl who liked him, called Martha May, and he tries to shave his hair to impress her, to look nicer, but he ends up doing a botched job.
I did want to just make mention about the fact that the Grinch's motivation in this film.
Well, we haven't got to that part yet.
Yes, we have. He gets fucking bullied for shaving his face as a kid, and that's it for the next 50 years of his life. He fucking hates Christmas.
Well, he kind of hates it from being born. He fucking chewed Santa up,
yeah,
and then just hated it.
Yeah. So why do we have to have this whole thing about him suddenly liking Christmas? Oh, and he makes a present for it, and he tries to shave, and then it's I don't know, man. That motivation. I was just not convinced by that at all, to be honest.
I have a few problems with this film.
Yeah, I've got loads of problems.
I have a few problems. Yeah.
Listen, well, with the synopsis anyway, is so the Grinch doesn't like this, so he causes chaos because the mayor gives him an electric razor because he's basically teasing him about that one time that he shaved and it didn't look very good. And then because he thought the Grinch has been living by himself for so long, and then he just for one time shows a vulnerable side, and it's immediately he feels emotionally attacked by these Who's. So he causes chaos. He sets a tree on fire. He does all kinds of things. He steals a car from these little people, which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah,
and,
the explosion.
Yeah, and then he decides when he gets back to his house that he's gonna steal Christmas to get revenge on them. So he dresses up as Santa and he steals all the presents from all the houses, and then he tries to push it off a mountain. But then he thinks the Who's are going to be crying because to him Christmas is just a big capitalist consumerist
true
thing.
So based. So
it's all just
based.
about presents, which is pretty true. But in this film for kids, it's not about that, obviously. So. He realizes that the Who's, instead of crying when they wake up to no presents, they just go outside and sing. And then Cindy Lou, he notices, has come to see him, and she says, "No one should be alone at Christmas," which makes him cry.
Yeah, and his heart explodes.
His heart explodes, and he has a heart attack.
I'm gonna be honest. I have to interject here.
I know.
That made me. With me and Veins and stuff. That made me cringe. That when he was fucking, his heart was palpitating, he was dying on the floor. I was, oh god, it made me cringe.
Well, the thing, what I was thinking when I watched that scene is that what if Jim Carrey was actually having a heart attack?
You wouldn't tell.
In that moment, but they were like, "Oh, that's really good acting. That was so good."
I mean,
anyway, Jim, let's do another take.
Yeah.
And then he just doesn't respond.
Look, we need to. Okay, Dan. After okay, so was this a childhood film for you?
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. Yeah.
You loved it as a kid.
We
And
can
what,
tell.
what did you think about it now? After seeing it?
There's a lot of jokes in it that I missed as a kid.
Yeah.
That I think were like more like aimed towards adults, and I liked that.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it's not the best film ever made, right? But it's got character, and I love it because it's just such a hot mess.
It's such a
No,
fucking mess, man. Oh, dearie me.
I love it.
It's a bit fever dreamy.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's very much, it's like The Cat in the Hat in a way. I think The Cat in the Hat's probably a better film than The Grinch. But
Serious?
very
Okay,
similar.
I don't know about that, but
I'm inclined to agree. I agree.
really, okay, interesting. Because
I haven't seen The Cat in the Hat in a
I'm,
while, but
I'm the usual defender
yeah.
of the Cat in the Hat, but I would even say like I love that film completely ironically, and there's a lot of stuff in it which is just terrible.
you're,
But the Grinch, it feels like a better structured film than the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, I'd say The Cat in the Hat to me is funnier, but The Grinch is like a better plot and has
Yeah.
better characters.
fuck the plot. The Cat in the Hat was way more entertaining to watch it run over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I think The Cat in the Hat's funnier, but to
I
say that
don't
it's
know.
got
I
a
haven't
better
actually. No, I haven't seen it in a
story-
long time.
I know The Grinch has problems with the story as well. I know.
Oh my god, yeah. Like
you know,
I wanted to. Sorry, Harry. I wanted to look
Go.
into the book itself, and I read the book for the
Oh, yeah.
Grinch, and it's this is the thing. This is I noticed this when I was watching it. Right, so nothing happens for like the first hour and 10 minutes of the movie. Like nothing happens. It's just a bunch of scenes of Jim Carrey in a yak hair suit, sitting around eating glass, talking to himself. It's so unhinged and weird, right? And then I was like, this can't. I was like, is this seriously in the book? So I looked into it, and obviously the book starts with the Grinch, right? Not liking Christmas and wanting to steal Christmas, and that's the entire story. It's just a short poem, and the mayor's not in it. Cindy Lou Who is on a single page, and it's like I could tell that this adaptation was just so like stretched thin, you know.
Well,
yeah.
It's like that with all the Dr. Seuss books though, because the Dr. Seuss
So why adapt them
Books
into
of-
films?
because the Dr. Seuss books are all really short. Like it's the same with The Cat in the Hat. If you've ever read that book, it's like it's a few pages long.
Okay, well
It's not that long.
that being said, why did this film have to be an hour and 45 minutes?
Because
Muppets Christmas Carol is an hour and 20 minutes.
They make fun of Christmas being all about consumerism and buying shit, and then they make this.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's a-
Oh my
it's a
god,
joke.
dude. So you know what, Harry? You say your piece because I have a lot to say
Okay.
about this film.
Okay,
I'd
okay,
say-
okay. So, it's a bunch of random shit. First of all, I want to say, you know, like the bit where they're climbing the mountain.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know those two. You know those two guys.
yeah, and the girl.
Do you know the Island Boys?
Yeah.
no.
They look like the Island Boys.
Yeah.
First fucking thing I thought
I
of
think
was
it's like
Island
what-
Boys. Look at Island Boys.
It does. To be fair,
I'm
they
an
do.
Island Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the intro
Anyway,
of a
it
horror
does.
movie. That bit, which is
yeah, that was good. I did like that bit.
But it's
I
like
was
that
like the
one of them
dog is
was
like
like-
barking as well.
yeah. It's just the fact that the Grinch is like this monster that lives on the top of a fucking mountain, and the girl's like, "Do it for me."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, dude, what the hell? You just wanted to die.
Okay, so anyway, whatever. That bit, Island Boys, whatever. The fucking the little romance the Grinch has with that woman,
Oh god,
Weird.
so cringe.
kind of weird. It was like they hired like a fucking prostitute and they said, okay, just moan a few times on camera, and it was weird. It took me out of it a little bit, and then her hairspray for one. That's not healthy for anyone, let alone a little girl. God damn, she must get like a whole can and a
that
half spray on her hair
hairdo
every fucking
is
day.
insane.
And his whole personality does a complete 180 just because he hears some people go, "We love Christmas, it's for joy and cheer," and he just goes, his heart explodes, and he's like, "I must give the presents back."
Yeah, literally. Didn't feel earned. Like, I have to
No,
say,
did not feel earned.
the whole like when he burns down the Christmas tree, I had to think like so. It really pissed me off because I was like, oh, that felt like a moment of like you know, it was very, it felt important, you know, this symbol of Christmas right in the middle of town, it's been burned down. And then,
good job we have a spare.
yeah, literally, he's like looking down at the good job we had this second tree. It's just like, for fuck's sake, it's like ready decorated, they just put it up.
It's kind of, it is kind of funny though.
It is funny.
They just love Christmas that much. They have a spare tree just in case something happens with it.
I will say, this film did entertain me for all of its
It was insane.
flaws. I did enjoy it, but it's so weird. This like you said, the woman who like is so fucking thirsty for the Grinch, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah, she's just like, every time she's on screen and the Grinch is there, she's like, oh.
Yeah, literally.
It's like,
And at the
why?
end, she's like, "I'm sorry." I can't remember what she said, but flipping heck.
I've got a gift for you, Mary, or something. Your ring back. I don't want this. The redeeming factor was the dog. Just saying.
Yeah, the dog was very cute and very well trained. I learned that was a rescue dog.
Oh really?
Yeah, that they rescued because it was it responded really well to the sort of direction they were giving it, which I thought was really great.
Oh, if it didn't respond to the direction,
Yeah,
put
well,
down.
the other ones that they cast, you know, they weren't cast,
Yeah.
obviously.
That was the 15th dog
Yeah,
in the production.
not to go in the meat grinder. So what do you think of the Who makeup?
The men have it worse. The women look more normal for the
Yeah.
most part.
Dan, what do you think?
I did like
of
the
makeup?
fact. The fact where like there's a bit of the film where the mayor mocks the little girl for saying she hasn't grown into her nose yet.
I know, yeah. I did think that because
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's a
They-
good
they-
thing.
They wrote that in because the actress who plays Cindy Lou, there's like in Hollywood, or just in acting laws, there's a certain age at which you're not allowed to put like loads of makeup and prosthetics on a kid.
But the hairspray doesn't matter.
I guess the hairspray doesn't count, but like they're not allowed to put like the big nose thing on her because like it's illegal because she's too young. So they wrote in this whole thing of just it being that Who's don't get their nose until they're older.
They're fucking.
It's funny how they have that law, but you know.
They're fucking ugly, horrible
Noses.
to look at, unpleasant, horrible noses. Yeah.
They have plenty of
love it.
faces.
You
They
love
do
it,
have
Dan.
plenty of faces.
I love it. I think it's really cool.
I despise it.
Apparently, it's
cool.
really hard to breathe.
Yeah, I know. I saw some stuff about that with Jim Carrey. Like, they had to hire a CIA agent. To
Yeah, experience. Yeah, he was an expert in torture.
Yeah. They basically
'Cause
told him
Jim-
to chain smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. Jim Carrey hated the Grinch suit.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. It must look very hot.
Yeah, he said every day it was like being buried alive.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It must take ages to set up.
No, it did. Apparently, the first time they did it, it took 8 hours to put all the makeup on. The first
Fucking
time.
hell.
By the time they were done, and he realized how much time that was, Jim Carrey got so angry because they did this in his trailer. I think he got so angry that he kicked a hole through his trailer.
Oh my God, I'm not surprised.
And then, because of that outrage, they managed to get the time down to 2.5 hours
What they could do? What?
somehow.
Saves them all time.
Dude, that's so long. I would be pissed, to be honest.
Do you know how many days yet to have that makeup?
I don't know how many days the production took in total.
I like his long fingers with like the hair.
Oh no, I hate
same.
You hate
It's-
him?
Yeah.
Imagine sucking on those. Mm.
The suit itself is made out of yak hair, and it took 4 months to make, apparently, because they had to stitch each individual hair in.
Yeah.
Do you really think that was worth it? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Dan, you're a big fan of this, then the visual representation.
Oh, yeah, the Who actors, right? It took 3 hours to put their noses on and stuff. They're all their makeup.
Not worth it.
Each?
Yeah, each.
You get
Everyone
2.5 hours for the whole Grinch?
Yeah, I guess
Makeup?
maybe it's because like they might have had more people working. Like I guess like there's a team of people that put the Grinch suit on him. Whereas like for the Who's, it's like this might just be like one person each.
I did see a hell of a lot about this. Actually, it was like there were like a lot of the scenes, especially the opening scene where they show like Whoville. It was like most of the people in the scene were completely CGI'd in. I think 43 minutes of the film are entirely CGI.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
really?
interesting.
yeah. A lot of it is so CGI. It's mad. But I think that's good though, because you can't really tell. So I'll give them credit for
Yeah,
that.
I would not have thought that.
Yeah, a lot of it is CGI scenes.
Jim Carrey, as you can probably guess, he actually improvised a lot of what he said and did. There's a scene where like he's in his lair and he's getting changed behind like that what's it called?
Yeah, the little curtain thing, the little blinder.
Yeah, and he does like that thing where he does like he goes like "Wah, he's like a little like transformation thing, and he's just normal. He's just got a dressing gown on. Apparently Jim Carrey improvised that for some reason.
I mean,
I think it's going insane wearing the makeup,
yeah,
isn't he?
probably.
Yeah, I think that is it. I think it's just like Jim Carrey just trying to have like as much fun as possible by just being like an absolute nutter.
I did see a lot about the sort of like the director. You know how in the Seuss books, there's a lot of nothing is like straight. There's loads of like curves everywhere.
Mm.
And you can see in the sets that everything is like rounded and curved, and it's like I did notice this when I watched it, but I saw it in a video after as well. There's a lot of Dutch angles. You know what I mean by that? Like where the sort of camera is tilted sort of 45 degrees to the right or left, and everything's like on a slant. And it's kind
Oh.
of funny because
Okay.
my favourite director, Sam Raimi, is like known for this, you know, in like the Evil Dead films, the camera's always like sort of at an angle. I thought I was watching a Sam Raimi Grinch movie. But I don't know, man, I cannot get past the visual aesthetic of this film. It just fucking annoyed the shit out of me. All the costumes were so over the top. The hair, the makeup, the sets. Like, actually, you know what? I don't mind the sets so much. I think the houses and stuff look cool. I just think all the people and the way they act, I'm just so annoyed by. I'm getting a bit passionate. I'm sorry. I don't mean to completely
No.
trash this film, but I just...
I find the fact that you're annoyed by it funny. So, it makes me enjoy like the Grinch more.
Fair enough.
Sick fucking pleasure.
I was gonna say, apparently, when this film premiered in London, the Queen attended,
Oh my god.
No fucking way.
and Jim Carrey was there as well, and he met the Queen.
Imagine all the films he made, you know, and it's like that was the one where he met the Queen.
Yeah, I bet the Queen loved it.
Oh.
She probably did.
I will say, you know what? I will say this, right? I think Jim Carrey's performance in this did get really exhausting to me towards the end, but I think he was definitely the best part of it, and I wanted to sort of ask you guys, if not the Grinch, what would you say your favourite sort of Jim Carrey performance is or was? Because I've seen a lot of his films. I watched one this weekend, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Have you seen that?
Nope.
No.
Definitely worth a watch. It's basically a completely serious role, and he's got such range that I sort of like when I just almost, I don't know. Have you ever seen The Truman Show?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's probably my favorite
Yeah, it's
Jim Carrey film.
it's mine. I love Ace Ventura too, but for a different reason. But The Truman Show, like his performance.
Talking about a banging Eggman.
Yeah.
I did do a banging egg, man.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No,
I've never seen that
I
film.
enjoyed.
Oh no, he
Sonic
did.
movie.
He's the best part about the film.
Yeah, I gathered, but I don't want to. I couldn't sit through the opening sequence of that film.
It's
you
not
know-
a
you know,
great film, but I enjoyed it.
No.
I liked
His
it more than The Grinch.
performance.
Sorry, I was about to say mine's probably series of unfortunate events.
Oh really?
Yeah, I really loved him in that. Honestly, I like that film. It's kind of a I've got a soft spot for that film.
Yeah. Again,
Like
he's
it was when I was
probably
a
the
kid.
best part of it.
Yeah, I found it an entertaining film.
But it's definitely worth watching Eternal Sunshine if you ever get the chance. But that's very good. He plays a very serious role. It's quite sad. It's good. Watch it. So the whole Baby Grinch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it. He reminded me of the same character You know on Cat in the Hat. You know those two little
Oh,
minion
fucking
Thing one and thing two.
Oh,
thing one and thing two. It was reminding me of one of those. I don't know if it's the same person playing it, but it reminded me of one of those things.
Why did they stop making live action Dr. Seuss films?
I wonder why.
Why did they start?
No. Why are they doing animated ones like the Lorax? I want to see Danny DeVito as a live action Lorax. That would. Why didn't they do that? Why did they have to make it animated?
Because you know what? They fucking put that stupid goddamn makeup on his face that lift his nose up 3 inches and fucking.
Oh, it would look great.
You know, it
He
wouldn't.
looks so funny.
No. No. Stop it. I've had enough.
You know what? I haven't. I haven't. You know what? Like, I was very impressed. Is all I'll say. Was when he came out, he like hopped out of bed and went on his zip line.
Oh
He
yeah.
landed
Yeah.
in his chair. I watched it like 4 times. Okay, I just rewinded it. I was like, that was fucking sick.
Oh dear.
It
Well,
was so fluid.
there were some.
That's all I want
There
to say.
were some things I actually did like about it. The funniest parts to me were the really inappropriate adult jokes that kept cropping up. There was the one where the baby came down in the.
Yeah.
That line is so funny when he says,
It's like, it
Our
looks like
baby's
your
here.
boss.
"Yeah, it looks like your boss." Also, did you know the keys? Did you notice that the keys in the bowl when the baby Grinch lands outside the house? Do you know what that was?
No.
So you know when the baby Grinch lands in the tree.
Yeah.
When he's looking in the window, they're all putting their keys into the bowl.
Uh-huh.
That is a swingers party. So when you go to a swingers party, everyone puts their car keys into a bowl, and then you draw keys, and that's who you sleep with.
Oh shit.
What?
Yeah,
Right.
that's
I had
fucking
no
swingers
idea.
party,
You know
baby. And also the
What if you don't want to sleep with him?
well that you
got no choice, you're like, oh, yeah,
That's why you
ooh.
don't go to a swingers party, man. If you're not up for it.
Oh my god.
Seriously though, like I didn't know that. Like I knew there was some implication when I saw it, but I didn't realize that's like that's a fucking swingers party. There's also the inappropriate motorboating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the most.
Yeah, that's the whole. That ties down to that weird fucking romance. Strange, man. Those kids have been scarred, honestly.
Yeah, a bit weird that was. But hey, at least I bet she consented. That's the thing, because it was the one that was really fucking thirsty.
I mean, she seemed very into it. So.
Yeah. I also thought, when she's like firing the lights on the house.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
gun, like that was so
boobs
strangely
jiggling.
erotic.
Yeah, her whole character is honestly.
Yeah. She's wearing that really skimpy like Santa's outfit and just firing this Gatling gun.
Making that woman faint. How she's like
Yeah.
depositing her load of Christmas lights on the house.
I did like the line, the joke about the Grinch's schedule.
Oh yeah. It was just like, and at 8, stare into the abyss. Oh yeah, it is like at 9, dinner with myself. I can't cancel again.
Yeah. Is there anything else I want? If there's anything you want to say, guys, just feel free to just.
I've said one piece.
Yeah. I've got so
I've
much
said my
here. I've got
piece,
so
so-
many notes. I've got like two pages of notes.
How would you have 2 pages of notes in
Like
this film? What?
there's the race joke he makes, where it's like the car drives past him.
Oh, it's
And he's
because
like-
I'm green, isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
I thought that was funny, but also just a little weird.
Nah, that's funny.
I liked his full-on anti-consumerist speech though. Before the, before he burns down the tree, when he gives her the ring and the car and stuff, he does that whole speech. I think that was pretty good actually.
Yeah, funniest in this film like this.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem with this film is honestly the motivation of the Grinch though. How he literally he shaves, everyone laughs at him, and that's it. He has a vendetta against the hot type. I mean, as well, like, why doesn't he? Is there nowhere else he can go? Is this the population of the world? He has to live on this mountain next to the town.
Well, if you watch to the end of the film, you see when it zooms out, and so it shows that they all live on a snowflake.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I didn't see that.
Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, they all live on a snowflake that's just falling through the sky. They're like tiny people.
I mean, is that canon?
I don't know, but if you've seen Horton Hears a Who,
I haven't.
Oh well, then that makes sense because in Horton Hears a Who, it's got like a town of Who's that live on a small piece of pollen on a flower. In the Dr. Seuss canon, Who's are people that live on like little tiny things. They have like worlds inside of a little tiny like speck of dust.
That is wild. I like that as a concept. I just wish it was perhaps a little bit more elaborated on, I guess.
Well, I think if they elaborated on it, they would kind of take away from the wonder. Also,
Well-
the Who's don't know they live on a snowflake, do they?
Exactly, regardless if he's on a fucking snowflake or what, they're so small, it doesn't even matter.
So the Grinch is trapped on this snowflake with the most annoying town on the planet. I
Yeah.
don't blame him for being as fucking grumpy as he is, honestly.
I mean, it's better than, shooting up a school or something, isn't it?
I went
After
from
something
0 to
like
100 really fast. Holy shit.
he
I'm just saying, like, stealing Christmas is a better alternative than,
Well,
doing
he
what some
fucking-
people
I think a
do.
lot of things are better.
I mean, he does
Honestly.
commit like terrorist acts.
Yeah, but no one
Yeah.
dies, do they?
He
You
tries
don't
to
know that.
murder a little girl and then reconsiders.
Yeah, literally.
Straight up murder.
Oh dear.
And he's like, nah.
Ugh. Also, I know it's not the little girl's fault. I don't blame her. But
I
the
do.
singing,
Bitch.
that was some
Which-
not great singing
From
from the
her?
little girl. Yeah, that scene where she's singing about Christmas. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No, I know which one you're on about. Yeah, that wasn't great. I mean, the songs in this film aren't, like, as good as The Muppet Christmas Carol, but...
There's a few things this film isn't as good as Christmas Carol.
The Grinch is also fucking stupid strong when he lifts up that sleigh at the end. That was pretty crazy. So
Yeah, well, it's demonstrated as a kid he can lift that Christmas tree.
I know, yeah, he's
Yeah,
fucking
and
Captain
Martha May
America.
is like, oh, the muscles.
Yeah, I know.
Super cool.
God, she's so fucking thirsty for him. I mean, Jesus.
Oh,
Who isn't?
Me.
I had this. When the girl's going around asking, and she goes to the Grinch's parents about like when they first got him or whatever as a child, or like how the Who's are conceived,
Yeah.
and how they float through the sky.
Yeah.
Is that actually how it happens, or are they just saying that? Is that how they're explaining it to the girl?
I think it is how it happens, isn't
Oh.
it? It must be.
Well, how else would it happen?
I mean, yeah, because you got the lesbian couple.
Well,
They can't conceive a Grinch. So yeah, this film, I'm not too, I'm really not that keen on it. I think I'm gonna rate it first because fuck you. 2 out of 5.
Ooh! Damn.
2.
Damn.
That's lower than half. That's... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought about 2.5, but then I thought, no.
God damn. Okay, that's lower than mine. Okay, go on, Dan. What do you rate it?
Don't say 5. I'll come around there and beat your ass.
Okay, listen. I was gonna say 5.
No fucking chance you were gonna say 5. No chance.
No. I think it's like a 4.3.
Well, you're going for 3?
No, you can't. It's 4.5 or 4
What? Since when?
since Letterboxd.
I
4.3 is such bullshit. Commit.
Okay. I'll give it a 4. I'll just give it the same rank that I gave Muppet Christmas Carol.
Holy
Can't believe that.
shit.
That's insane.
Oh
It's a personal thing for me though. It's like, I just love the Grinch because it's funny.
I was gonna give this originally. I was a 3.5, but after this conversation, after seeing the ratings and after the fact that you rated it at the same level as the fucking Muppets, I'm lowering it to a 3. Okay, it's a 3 out of 5.
It's got a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Well, now it has a 3
Yeah,
out of 5.
Yeah, that's a 3.
That's a 3.
That's 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Damn, I'm so good. Oh shit.
Okay, well now we'll move
Okay.
on to my film, my recommendation, Klaus from 2019, starring Jason Schwartzman and J.K. Simmons, directed by Sergio Pablos. The synopsis of it: it's about a postman who's kind of disgraced within his company. He is the son of the guy who owns it, and he's sent to an isolated island at the very north of their country, where basically there's two feuding factions that are fighting each other in perpetuity. And he is sent there because he's being taught a lesson, and he has to basically try and make a functioning post office. And the way he does it is by convincing the woodsman who lives in the top, it lives in a very isolated part of the isolated island, who has a lot of toys, to get the kids to write Christmas letters to Klaus, who ends up being obviously Santa Claus, and then he delivers all the toys, thus starting the folklore of Saint Nick, almost, Santa Claus. So what do you guys think of this one then? Have you seen it before?
First of all, I would like to say that my synopsis was by far the best out of the three. But
I don't know, I thought mine was pretty good.
More of a joke, I was saying, because of how...
Dan's took about
anyway.
half an hour to get through, so...
Well, I went in this film completely blind. And honestly, I had low expectations. I didn't think I was gonna like this film.
Mm.
I was very pleasantly surprised.
So you hadn't seen it before?
I saw nothing.
Ah, good. Okay.
Nothing of this film. I didn't see it. I've seen no clips. Nothing. It's completely under my radar, sort of thing. Yeah, no, I really like this film, actually. I thought it was entertaining all the way through. I loved... It was kind of, like, really dark in some bits of it. Like, when he first arrives and he walks past the townsfolk, they're just carrying a body.
Yeah. I love
they're
that.
just fucking looking at him.
It's so funny
Like,
as well, though. It's done in such a way that it's, like, comical.
Yeah, and that, like, those group of kids doing the snowman.
Yeah.
Just staring at him.
As you notice him slowly pushing the carrot in.
Yeah.
So good.
I thought the art style was really nice. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it all the way through, actually. There was only one bit, honestly, at the end when it's like his whole, he betrayed them and then he's gonna leave. And, oh no, he didn't leave. He's back. That was like it's
we'll talk about that.
The whole layer reveal trope.
Yeah, pretty obvious.
It happened really quick. It was obvious. You knew it was gonna happen, but it just happened.
Well, we'll
quick.
talk about that because I do have something to say about that, actually. But Dan,
Okay.
what about you? What did you think? Have you seen it before?
No, when I watched it last week, that was the first time I...
Oh, great.
never watched
Okay,
it.
that's good. And what did you think?
And, I mean, yeah, this is definitely my favourite one of the three films
Oh,
we've
wow,
watched.
brilliant.
So, yeah, I J.K. Simmons, great actor. It's got Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Norm
Oh, I
Macdonald.
didn't know he was dead.
Yeah, he died of cancer,
Jeez, man, that must have been pretty recent.
like last year.
Oh my god. Okay, that's...
Actually, was it this? No, sorry. I think it was this year. Sorry, yeah, it's December, isn't it? So, yeah, it would have been like earlier in the year.
Dude, that's pretty tragic. Okay. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. Carry on.
I really like most things about this film. I really like the story. I like the characters. The animation's great. I love the animation of why have I forgotten the main character?
Jesper.
Jesper, that's it. Thank you. I like his animation, like the way his like body moves.
Yeah.
Is like very animated. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I like the character arc that he goes through. He goes from like being a character that's kind of like, a bit of a comic relief, but also like a bit of an asshole, to being like, put someone that genuinely cares about what he's doing.
Yeah. So I did want to say, did you make any kind of connections as to what? There's another animated character. I didn't think of it the first time I saw it, but this time, he reminds me completely of another character that I love from a Disney movie. Do you know who he might be?
No.
Emperor Cusco.
Oh.
He's just like Emperor Cusco at the start from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I get what you mean.
I think I've ever seen that film.
Oh, really?
I haven't
Worth
seen
a
it, but I
watch.
know what it's about. I see.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right then. No wonder you didn't know. But yeah, they're basically really similar, and I noticed that this time round. So I'm not gonna knock points off for that because I still think Jesper's, a good character on his own. So it doesn't rely on that, but he's pretty funny. Yeah. I don't know, man. This film is presented so beautifully. The story isn't necessarily original, but I feel like it justifies the animation completely. Well, the animation justifies the story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's so much like visual humor that I just think this film is. I don't know, man. When I watched it the year it came out in 2019, and I really, really, really thoroughly enjoyed it because I'm a big fan of animation anyway. So this is one of my favourite Christmas films as of now. Again, I think it is held back by it not being particularly original. There's a lot of tropes. It is very tropey.
Yeah.
But, and also I think my major criticism is some of the music choices are downright awful.
Yeah, they're very cheesy.
Yeah. The How You Like Me Now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Also, there's a bit where he tells the kid about the coal in the stocking, and he sort of walks away, and there's like this trap song plays, and it's like, "Don't mess with the postman," and it's like, dude, oh god. And also, there's this bit where he's like, I don't remember what the scene is. I think he's just going round the. Oh no, they're going to give the little like, I can't remember what they're called. The the red and blue people.
The Sami.
That's it. They're going to give the little girl the present, and there's that song playing, and that is, again, I'm just not a fan. So that was probably my major criticism. But yeah, the animation is just so fucking vibrant. And have you seen anything about how they did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at apparently the majority of the characters were designed by one person. That was Torsten Schrank.
Yeah. Also, Sergio Pablos, the guy who directed, did a lot of the drawings as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a 2D. It's all 2D, which I think is amazing. Some of it is there's like a lot of 3D models used in the film, but all the characters are 2D, and they used special software designed like purpose built for this film, which like basically renders shadows for 2D models, 2D animated models, and then the animators went through each frame and like touched up all the shadows, and that's what gives it's such a distinct animation style. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. It's pretty special, I think, and it gives so much atmosphere, especially like the stuff that stands out to me is when they're in the school with all the fish.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, the lighting in that school is just awesome. It looks so good. And all, like you were saying, Dan, all the characters super expressive.
Yeah.
Jesper especially, the teacher as well. I think she's honestly one of my favourites. The teacher character.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with this film is like the plot isn't anything special, pretty generic, but the characters are just really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the film pretty nice.
Yeah.
The characters are just really likable people for the most part.
Apart from Jesper, but obviously he earns it. But then
he becomes likable.
Yeah. I will say, Harry, you were talking about the whole "oh, you lied to us" trope. Not only is that too tropey for me, but I think the major issue for me is I was like, this affects no one. Like, even if he was doing it selfishly, it's helped your town immeasurably. Let's look at the teacher.
They instantly tell him. Instantly.
Yeah. And it's...
But
to be fair, they do also instantly forgive him as well, which is also kind of weird.
Well, yeah, but they don't give him time to go, okay, guys, that was the original plan, but I've developed a lot here,
yeah, I know, exactly.
Etc.
I think it's like the one that pissed me off the most was the teacher is stood there with her arms folded, like, I can't believe you do this, as if for the whole movie she wasn't planning to leave herself selling fish just to get off the island because she hated it there. And then she finds out that the postman was doing the same thing, and it's like, oh, I can't believe you did that. It's like, well, give him a... So I just didn't buy that, and the whole, like, Klaus being mad at him and stuff, it was like, None of you had any
Yeah.
reason to be mad at him. Shut up. That's so that didn't.
It felt forced into it because it was over so fast.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, he's betrayed. Oh, he's back,
Yeah, literally.
and now he's saving them.
It didn't feel.
Okay.
It felt like it almost. They were just. They had to do it for the sake
A
of.
checklist,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
It did feel that.
Over the
I-
hedge did a better lie revealed.
On it, over the hedge. Don't even mention that fucking
That
perfect
masterpiece.
film. Masterpiece of the film.
6
honestly.
out of 5.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
12 out of 10. So, I mean, I don't know really what else to say about this in particular. I think. Go on, Harry. I'll let you guys take this.
I would say like, there was like a bunch of little things, you know, like the fact that he was going around the neighborhood asking kids, "Hey, you want some toys?"
Yeah.
Like that would. It'd go over a child's. It's like what I saw, like an adult joke sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love that bit. That was funny. You know, there's just a lot of visual humor, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was just enjoyable to watch. A lot of like kind of fucked up stuff as well. People are just dying straight up. Corpses are being handed around like nothing.
I think another criticism I did have actually was, you know, the evil lady. I think she's called Tammy Crumb.
Oh yeah.
I think her voice actor was not great. She's played by Joan
Really?
Cusack. Yeah, because I don't think I noticed it the first time, but this time I sort of thought she sounded. It's kind of funny because I looked into her and I think she's like 60 odd years old.
Oh,
But she sounds really young in the film, and like the visual of the lady, like with the cane and like the wrinkly old face and everything, contrasts with this quite young sounding voice I wasn't totally into, to be honest.
I really liked the guy that was the head of the Ellingbo family. I forgot his first name. The guy with the top hat.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I found him funny.
Yeah, he was good. And the Sami people as well. I like how every sort of aspect of the Santa Claus myth is explored.
Mm.
Like they don't leave a single stone unturned, do they?
Yeah, like with them adopting red as a colour. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. And just every little detail, like those are kind of his elves, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, interesting thing about the Sami people is they got actual Sami people, IRL, like real life ones, to voice act them.
Oh, that's great. That's really cool.
I don't know what the girl was saying.
Probably a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
they were originally they were gonna have subtitles, but then they decided not to because they thought it would be better if no one knew what she was saying unless you spoke Sami.
Yeah, I kind of agree actually.
How do you feel about the scene where they try and like they get together to try and translate what she's saying? 'Cause- That I felt kind of like I was like, okay, how the fuck are you gonna translate?
yeah, no, I did think that myself.
Why,
wasn't gonna get-
where's this scene going? I thought.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just that the teacher lady knew
A
some
bit
Sami,
of Sami.
so she
Yeah.
knew how to like translate a few words.
It was kind of one of them scenes where I wasn't gonna get hung up on it, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
At the same time,
I mean, my
did
main
have a
gripe
brief-
is the cliche at the end.
Yeah,
The
that
whole,
is.
"Oh,
Yeah.
That's literally like my only downside for this film. But I just kind of expected it.
How do you think it was an emotionally impactful film? Did it make you weep?
Yeah,
No, really?
I cried when it was revealed what, you know, when Clives was talking about how like he might have kids and his
Yeah.
wife died. That made me well up a little bit.
Yeah, that made me cry, to be honest. It does. It's
When it
pretty-
was like revealed, when like Jesper's like in his like little workshop thing, and he's like he pulls off the thing, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?"
Get
Yeah,
out.
Yeah,
yeah, that is sad. That is very sad. Yeah, I also I appreciate how it's like it starts off very grey and barren, and as the film
Yeah.
progresses, everything gets more colourful and warm. And then there's a lot of like oranges and reds, and I think
Mhm.
yeah, it's such a visually impressive film.
yeah. What studio is it actually? What's the name of the studio that made it?
Oh, I did know. I had it.
We did know that's no good, now, is
Oh
it?
no, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Hang on, let's look it up, shall we?
I liked how the whole rivalry was like built up to just be tradition. I kind of like that.
It was
that made
just,
me laugh.
it says Netflix animation. so-
Tradition.
Yeah, it's Sergio
Sergio Pablo.
Sergio Pablos Animation Studios.
There you go then.
It's just him in
Yeah.
his studio.
I do have an interesting little fact as well. In the original inception of the film, Jesper was meant to be impoverished. He was meant to be a chimney sweep
Right. Okay.
that gets sent there. I think I don't know how that would work, but just thought I'd mention that originally he was meant to be impoverished, and I feel like I don't want to say I prefer that, but I think, well, how would you think that might work? Because in his current sort of wealthiness, he's hard to relate to begin with, and we don't really
I
like him.
can't relate to a chimney sweep.
Fair enough.
I personally genuinely relate more to his character than a fucking chimney sweep.
Yeah, I know you do.
Uh,
Have you got anything else you want to add to this? Because I feel like this is just a short discussion on this one, to be fair. I had more to say about the Grinch just because it was...
there was a lot of passion in the Grinch,
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yeah.
I have one. Actually, there was a joke I liked that I thought was funny in this film, which is where Jesper is meeting Klaus, and he's like, Klaus is I think he's gone up to Klaus to try and ask him to make toys for him. Like, it's like the second time meeting him, and Klaus is putting up birdhouses on trees,
Yeah.
and he makes a noose,
Yeah.
and then but he's like,
Yeah.
Klaus is just silent and not saying anything, and then he just gets this noose out and he just like, he puts it towards Jesper, and Jesper's just like, oh, okay, this is it, and he just like willingly puts his head through it.
Yeah, I did like that. It's pretty funny. Yeah, a lot of good gags. I think there were a lot of montages in this, weren't there? Like,
Yeah, there were a lot of
so sort of every sort of key bit, there was like a montage of him fucking it up. So when he's trying to get the reindeer, there's like a whole montage of him, trying to catch them, and then obviously when he's delivering all the presents and all the, there's a lot of montages. I don't think that is too detrimental, but I did just notice it after a bit. Yeah.
It shows time passes
Yes.
and character development and
Stuff.
budget friendly way.
Yeah. I thought that the pacing was really good as well. It felt really deliberate. It just kept going, and never really held up. It never felt like there was any filler, Everything felt very deliberate.
There was one problem I had with this film.
Oh, go on.
And it's not really a problem because it can just kind of be explained by like just thinking about it. But there's the first night in which Klaus they deliver that toy to that one kid, the first kid they delivered to, right?
Yeah.
And afterwards, the kid tells his apparently off camera, I guess you'd say, he tells his friends, like, if you write a letter to Mr. Klaus, he'll deliver you a toy. And I just thought, like, first of all, I guess we assume that this kid knows who it was that delivered the present to him, and he knows his name's Klaus. Because, like, I thought, because when I first saw that, I thought, how does he know what his name is? Like, does he know him? Does he know him as a person?
Well,
has he met him?
my guess.
And then,
my guess was always that the wood was carved into the toy, perhaps. But
it doesn't. Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't really show that though.
Yeah, it's true.
And also, he tells his friends that if they write to Klaus, he'll give him a present. But like, he never actually sent a letter to Klaus. It just, that picture got to him by accident. So how did he know
that? Yeah, plot hole. Terrible film.
Also, that wooden
Wow,
frog was very animated for being made out of wood.
I know. It's because it was magic.
Very fluid.
It's
Ooh.
the magic of Klaus. Magic of J.K. Simmons. The frog knew that if he didn't start, doing all that crap, then J.K. Simmons was going to be real angry.
He's going to throw a drum at his head.
Yeah. I love that movie. Have you seen that movie, Dan?
Yeah, Whiplash. Yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
Whiplash.
Yeah, that's a great film. Harry, you need to watch it. Anyway, this isn't about Whiplash, so,
Oh my god.
I haven't really got a fat lot else to say about this one.
I do. I have some more things.
Dan, you take the bloody... take this the stand, whatever.
Take the
Yeah, that's
reins,
the one.
Dan.
Take the reins of the reindeer.
So from my research of like where it's meant to be based, Smearensburg is a made up place, but it is based on a town that existed back in the 1600s in Norway. It's like a little island town in Norway called Smearenburg, which is a very similar sounding name, which is just a town which like is primary like economic export is like just hunting whales.
I see.
That's
Cool.
it. I guess that's why there was like fish everywhere and stuff, and it makes sense. But they wanted a town. They wanted to base it on towns that lived like really, really far north, like in the Arctic. So like I guess that's. I think it's meant to be based. It's apparently based. I couldn't really back up when it's based. I've seen that people say it's based in the 19th century, and other people say like 19th century Norway is the main thing I've seen. But what else can I say?
What else can you say, Dan?
What else can I say?
You had a lot to say here, Dan.
What can you?
I thought you said you had a lot.
I had one more thing to say. I thought I had more than that to say.
That was it. Okay, right. Well,
Oh my God.
I know. I want to.
I have
to
a
say.
God, yeah.
I want to say how I like that the reindeer didn't fly.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they sort of did.
They don't. They just kind of like they're flung into the air, and it looks like they're flying. I like that. That's how they explored the myth. But like they don't actually fly. I liked that they. I liked that anyway. I thought that was nice. And also,
Darwin and landed, which is a plus.
there's a scene at the end where Jesper he shows that he's got kids with Alva, and the way he puts them into bed is he's like putting them inside of an envelope. I thought that was a nice touch.
And he kisses them and he says it's like a stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up. Barry's visualizing his kids like an
I'm gonna mail you
Assume
away
his
forever.
I can't wait to fucking mail you. God damn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So let me just have a quick breeze through my notes and see if there's anything else that's particularly funny or fun that we missed.
I have one last thing to say.
Yeah, no,
just one
go
last
for it.
thing. How do you feel about the ending of him just fucking walking into the wind and disappearing?
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
that I
mind
did.
it. I mean,
It was a bit weird because he's just like, oh yeah, I'm coming now, and then he's just like dies, I guess.
But
He's
the
gone.
implication,
He's gone. No
was the
behind.
wind was his wife, right? And
Yeah.
so the
Well,
wind
yeah,
was like circling around his feet, and it was just pulling him, and he was all old, and he was just like, it was like Master Oogway in Kung Fu Panda, my time has come, and then just fucks off.
I watched
into-
this film with someone, and that they said they said the exact same thing.
Well, that's obviously been ripped from Kung Fu Panda, the most original film of all time. Yeah. Oh, I don't mind that so much. I think it's just one of them, isn't it? They're not going to show, like, what are they going to show Klaus in his bed, like, oh, I'm having a
Yeah,
heart
I
attack.
don't know, like Major Growth. I'm just like, I was like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he goes to
Okay.
visit his cabin, and he's just like a rotting corpse in his bed.
Jesus Christ.
And then they're
Merry
like,
Christmas.
they're like, and then I never saw him again, but I get to see him every year at Christmas.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I was a little bit like,
Okay.
okay. So what does
Okay,
that mean?
buddy.
He just manifests on Christmas Eve.
Like his nightmarish, hellish
It's
fucking
like the
dreams.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, he's like, no, he turns into the Santa from Futurama, Robot Santa.
Robot Santa.
Yeah, and just starts fucking tormenting everyone. Anyway, that's not what the film was implying, was it? Really? Let's face it. So,
That's all I got from it.
so let's finish it up then, shall we? If you've got nothing else to say, what do you want to give this one then? Out of 5.
You first, Jake. In fact, no, Dan first. You took Dan's spot last time.
I really want to give it a 5, but
But the Grinch takes my top spot.
no, because I definitely rate this higher than the Grinch. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give it a 5 because a 5 implies that it's a perfect film. That's my problem with my problem with rating something as a 5 implies that it's like amazing. And
The thing is with me with ratings is like if I'm trying to like pick for flaws and I can't really find any and I'm trying to find I feel like I'm being too nitpicky, I might as well just give it a 5. It's like why
Yeah, I mean, I think
I know some people's ratings are different though.
it's probably one of the best Christmas films that I've seen.
Yeah.
hmm
I'd probably give it a 4.5. I think that's probably a safer bet.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd go for a 4 myself. I think.
Yeah. I honestly, I was thinking, I'm a little bit more harsh, I think, actually, honestly, on the second watch. I was going to say 3.5, and yeah.
Really?
I know it's quite brutal, but the thing is like, after thinking about it a little bit more, the sort of, the nature of the story, it's not, I don't know if it does enough, right? And I don't know, some of those moments, like especially the bits at the end, they feel like cop out, just sort of like we need to do the thing now. And
Yeah.
I think I don't mind it because the animation is enough for me. If I will watch anything
Yeah.
animated if the animation is good. I don't care what the context is. I just love seeing beautiful animation, and that's one of the reasons I wanted you guys to see it, because I love animation a lot.
hmm
But I think as a whole film, it's not. I don't think it feels quite as like polished and whole as something like Muppet Christmas Carol, where I've given Muppet Christmas Carol a 4. Right? Is that what I said?
Yeah,
I think it
so.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, yeah, okay, a Muppet Christmas Carol. Again, it's not perfect, but it feels like more like. Obviously, it's not you would say Klaus is like an original script, right? It's because it's not based on any sort of source material apart from the folklore of like Santa Claus. But Muppet Christmas Carol has the crutch of just following a story that's been pre-written, basically page for page. So I don't know. I don't really know. It's either a 3.5 or a 4.
I just go by like whether I enjoyed the film. Like I enjoyed the animation, the visual humor. The story felt it was a nice twist on the story. It kept me entertained all the way through. So I don't really want to read into it. No, not read into it. Like go into it too much and like nitpick it sort of thing. Like this this character didn't do this much, or.
But then at the same time, I think that I don't know. I want to be honest about sort of the. I don't know. I think I'm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say. No, I'm gonna say 3.5.
What do you
3.5
give
out of
Grinch? Do you give 2.5 or was it 2?
2.
Give it 2. Okay.
Yeah, and Muppet 4. Although the trouble is now, I'm thinking like I don't think Muppets is necessarily that much better than Klaus. So.
I was thinking that we like discussing Klaus. I was like, I gave Muppets a 5, but I did really enjoy Klaus as well. But Muppets, I didn't have that like, cop out ending. This is kind of weird. Like with Klaus, like the whole I said the whole cliche of being betrayed and coming back sort of thing. That was the major killer. There's a few other things as well, but that was it. The Muppets, I didn't. There's nothing really in it that I'm like, wish that wasn't in it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
How would you rank them in order?
Muppets, Klaus, Grinch.
I feel like I'm the same. Yeah.
All right.
Very easily.
I'm Klaus, Grinch, and then Muppet.
Wow.
Damn, dude. Damn.
But that's not to say I like the Muppets though a lot. Like the thing this really this one has been difficult for me because I like all 3 of these films a lot.
Yeah.
So like rating them, like they all have like I gave Muppets 4, Grinch 4, and Klaus 4.5. It's all like a really similar rating. But it's like it's really hard for me to rate them because I like. them all.
I liked the Grinch was entertaining to watch. However, I wouldn't watch it again anytime soon because I've seen it and I'm like, whatever. Like,
I would.
But Muppets, maybe Klaus, maybe. I don't know.
I'd probably watch. The thing about Muppets Christmas Carol is it's the shortest one, and it's short and sweet, and watching the Muppets Christmas Carol is not a problem. Again, whereas watching the Grinch, like, if I was gonna watch that again, well, first of all I wouldn't, and then I think second of all, it's just such a slog, I think. And then Klaus, again, I think because, yeah, it's a little bit longer, it's closer to the Grinch's runtime, but it feels so well paced that I don't think I ever felt bored watching it, yeah, I don't know. I'll probably stick with that 3.5. It'll probably change at some point, who knows.
That's fair enough.
Who knows? Yeah. The point being, I love Klaus, I love Muppet Christmas Carol. I enjoyed the Grinch, though in some ways I have some resentments there. Shut up, Dan. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Are we done talking about all those then?
Yeah, got our ratings in.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I've been looking forward to this, to be honest. So
This was shorter than I was expecting.
Yeah, I know, me
down,
too.
Chill.
it's because that Klaus discussion was a little bit shorter than I expected, but it's just because I feel like I had a lot more to say about the Grinch because I had a lot more criticisms. Whereas I think what Klaus boils down to is the fact that it's basically just a really beautifully animated film that doesn't really have that much going on, right? So, yeah, I think I'd definitely recommend Klaus and Muppets Christmas Carol if you haven't seen them already.
And I would also recommend The Grinch if you haven't seen it before as well.
And yeah, and I would as well if you fancy, torture.
It was everything. It was a good watch.
Yeah, no, I'm being very melodramatic. I'll shut up now.
It was like a good.
So I think I will say that if anybody wants to ask us some questions for one of these podcasts, feel free to leave a comment. I'm just putting that out there in case anybody does, and we'll answer them.
If anyone is listening right now, fucking dare you.
Yeah. Okay. You've been warned.
Yeah.
Ask the questions at your own risk. But yeah, we'll answer them probably after we've discussed whatever film we're talking about. So, yeah, if there are any. So we'll see. But and next episode we're going to talk about Suspiria, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah. So I don't suppose you guys have watched that one yet. I haven't.
No, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about this film. I'm more apprehensive than this film than Klaus. Because it's got to read subtitles. Is it French?
It's Italian.
Italian, okay, it's better. I don't know.
That's based.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it could be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a Blu-ray copy of it, and I didn't realise that it's a German copy, so all the writing on the back is in German. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it?
What can I watch it on?
I'll send you it.
Your
John.
TV,
I'll send you
preferably, or a computer monitor.
No, I mean like
yes,
what?
I know, I'm being very stupid. Right, okay. Well, thank you all for listening, and we hope to see you next time. I've been Jake.
And I've been Harry.
I've been Dan.
We did find out this time. I don't know if you remember last time we said.
Oh yeah, we did.
We said
We'll find out next time.
Yeah, and are you Dan?
Are
we gonna find out next time?
That's a complicated question.
law thickens.
Okay.
Who is anyone really?
Let's not get into that. Okay. Well.
Are we all Dan?
No, you're the Grinch.
You make a
hell
good
yeah.
Grinch, man.
Thanks.
You do a really good job. They should catch
I
you.
would love to dress up in the Grinch suit just for a day and just like.
You'd make a good Grinch sidekick, I feel.
You like the dog. You be the dog. Max.
Yeah, be Max.
Okay. Well, thank you all for listening.
Yes.
And we'll see you
Thank you.
next year. Goodbye.
Yeah, oh, that's funny. Good one.